Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, Ollie King Vlogs, of course, and today it's a new video on the channel. It is me just analysing, giving a quick preview, if you like, of game week 37. After this game week's been ticked off, we're into single digits, 10 games to go, squeaky bum time, business end of the season, obviously the regular season, hopefully. I do not have to endure the playing of the playoffs as a Leeds fan. Every single limb crossed for that. So I'm going to start this video with the Friday night football live on Sky. Obviously this is a Thursday night, this is being released, so that's happening tomorrow on Friday. It's Nottingham Forest versus Millwall. Obviously Forest 4 points off Leeds, 4 points, 4th on 60 points, 8 points off Leeds. Forest's last game was a 2-2 draw away at Middlesbrough on Monday night, so they were on Sky again. The last game of game week 36. Grabban was on a goal drought, then he got that rather cheeky goal, obviously at the Riverside on Monday night, which earned them a 2-2 draw. It was Borough kind of snatched the lead. I think it was Yates or something for Forest, put them in front. Decent strike, Pears could have probably saved it, and then I don't know, Forest just put their foot off the gas. Borough managed to go into half time with a 2-1 lead, and then looked set to take all 3 points for the first time in 10 games. Johnny Woodgate looked to be steering Borough out of the relegation zone, and then Lewis Grabban popped up. Peter said a push on the keeper. I didn't see it that way. Goal legitimately stood, and fair play. So Forest 2-2 draw away at Middlesbrough. Millwall, on the other hand, played some lovely stuff since Gary Rowett's come in. 10th in the table, 51 points, possible playoff candidates. That charge is possibly halted as of late. 5 points off 6th place, there you go. Last game was against fellow playoff candidates, Bristol City, at home, finished a 1-1 draw. So, yeah, like I said, Millwall's kind of halted as of late. But any team's got a chance heading into the final 10 games. For this one, I'm going to go 2-1 Forest to win. I can just see, I think Forest are just going to be a bit too much for Millwall. Right, so this is the next one now. If anything epitomises a drag game, it's Birmingham versus Reading, unfortunately for Blues or Royals fans. 15th Birmingham, 47 points against Reading in 16th on 45 points. Obviously Birmingham exited the FA Cup last night in the 5th round away at Leicester. I think it was a Ricardo Pereira goal in the final 10 minutes. Pep Clotet's game plan, hearing from Birmingham fans, was spot on. They were in the game. They were just looking for, I think, a counter-attack, a goal to send them through. And the Blues fans went in their numbers once again. I think about 5,000 went to the King Power last night. Reading also exited in this round to the Blade, Sheffield United, at home 2-1 after extra time. I think Billy Sharp's got an extra time. So like I said, this epitomises a mid-table drab clash. And for this one, I'm going to go 2-1 Birmingham. I think they've picked up as of late. They've had some shocking results throughout the season, but they have picked up as of late, and Reading seem to have kind of stumbled. Both teams, I wouldn't say are out of the woods yet, but I'd say they're both only about 5 or 6 points off safety. So let's get into the next one. That is what I'm going to call my feature game. This is a relegation 6-pointer, if there ever was one. Stoke versus Hull City. Hull 18th, haven't picked up 3 points in 10 games against Stoke in 21st. Stoke 1 point outside the relegation zone. Hull are 3 clear of it. Obviously Hull's last game was the 4-0 defeat at the KCOM against Leeds, my team. Luke Ayling deflected shot in 5 minutes, opened the scoring, and then just after half time, I think it was about 46, 47, Pablo Hernandez put daylight between us. And then a Bielsa-inspired substitution grabbed the 3rd and 4th goals. A brace for the Welshman himself. Possibly the saviour of Leeds' season. Tyler Roberts. I think he may start against Huddersfield, guys. With the 3rd goal. And the 3rd goal my God, started in the left-back position with Luke Ayling, Stewie Dallas even. Great fluent football, and it was great. Great goal to watch. Obviously, I was watching it on the telly. So, Hull also brought on for Josh McGuinness in that game, the Hungarian striker, Norbert Balog, I think you pronounce it like that. And he only had one shot, but it was cannoned off the outside of the post. I thought that had gone in Meisler's debut for Leeds. Stoke, on the other hand, the Potters, they've got decent players. Like, they shouldn't be struggling like this. Clucas, Tyrese Campbell, Sam Vokes, ex-Burnley, of course, Nick Powell, all veterans, I was going to say, of the Championship. Obviously, Campbell, a really young prospect. Tom Ince, I don't think he's worth mentioning, really. Stoke's last game, a 1-1 draw away at Luton, who were also fighting for their lives. And Stoke were winning, and then James Collins' penalty in injury time made sure the spoils were shared at Kenilworth Road. So I know I'm rambling on, guys, about absolutely jot all. So I'm going to give you my score prediction for this. I'm going to say Stoke will nick it, and Hull will remain 11 without a win. So hopping on into the next one, it's Preston versus QPR, the Lily Whites versus the R's. 6th Preston on 56 points, 14th QPR on 47. This is another 3 o'clock Saturday kick-off. QPR, Eze, Hugill, obviously Naki Wells was recalled by Burnley, then sold to Bristol City in the January transfer window. So goals have possibly dried up, but Eze, or say Samuel, or say Bright, or say Samuel. My God, how did I get that mixed up? For Preston, Barkhays and Sean Maguire, Paul Gallagher on penalties, all outstanding players. So for this one, I'm going to go 1-0 Preston. Alex O'Neill, Preston, I think 2 points clear of Bristol City in 7th, so just in 6th place. I think they should be able to hold on for the playoffs. I've gone 1-0 Preston for this one. What else was I going to mention? But obviously Preston, I think they've got one of the best home records. Obviously Deepdale have been a fortress for them this season, and that represents their position in the league. So moving on into the next one, it's Brentford versus Sheffield Wednesday. Brentford 5th on 57 points. Sheffield Wednesday 12th on 48 points. Brentford's previous game was a 2-2 draw away at Cardiff in the capital of Wales. Brentford took the lead on 5 minutes after the 20-year-old centre-back Luka Rakic, the Dane, scored. I think it probably was from a corner because obviously he's a centre-half. But he's coming for Jean-Vier and obviously Pontus Jansson, who was still injured. And then Bueno put them 2-0 up, and the Bluebirds came back in the second half. Sheffield Wednesday obviously just exited the FA Cup last night at home to Man City, only lost 1-0, Sergio Aguero goal. So there's nothing too disheartening about that. 12th, Wednesday really should be knocking on the door of the playoffs, and they were until recently. Really poor form for Gary Monk's men. Some of the recent results, I think of 5-1 drubbing at home to Blackburn, 3-0, 3-1 at home to Reading. So I think they can pick up for next season, but this season's dead and buried, unfortunately, Wednesday fans. Obviously, you will win the trophy. We beat Leeds, woohoo. So I'm going to go 2-1 Wednesday for this, because Brentford obviously surrendered the 2-0 lead away at Cardiff. Not in the greatest of forms, kind of stuck in the rut, if you like. Griffin Park is always a hard place to go, but I think Wednesday might get that bit of life into them and turn up for this game. So I'm going to go 2-1 Reading, Wednesday even. So let's get into the next one. So the next one is Bristol City in 7th, 2 points off the playoffs, against Fulham, who are 3rd, breathing, not giving Leeds much space, breathing all over us. In 3rd, 63 points. So the Cottagers, this is going to be tricky, but not many teams really have been faced by playing at Ashton Gate this season, have they? So it'll be a tricky game. I'm going to go 2-2 for this one. Naki Wells for Bristol City, Mitrovic, top goal scorer for the division, nothing else to say about that. I'm just going to go 2-2. I'm praying for the Robins to turn up and halt the Fulham chase of Leeds. Obviously, Leeds play Fulham at Elland Road later on this month, so that could be what it comes down to. So the next game, it's Charlton versus Middlesbrough. Lee Bowyer versus Jonathan Woodgate, both ex-teammates. Borough earlier on in the season at the Riverside, obviously, beat Charlton 1-0. They're in the relegation zone. I think they're on 38 points, something like that. Charlton 39, so obviously only 1 point out of it. Charlton wins of recently. Obviously the 1-0 win away at Forest, but obviously Lamucci did make quite a few changes. So for this one, I'm going to go 1-1. I can't see any other way. Both teams struggling for form. But if I was going to go one team to nick it, I would go for the Addicts. So the next one, Barnsley versus Cardiff. Barnsley, a decent bit of inspired form. I think in the last 4, they'd won the previous 4 before Reading away, where they were beaten 2-0. They'd won the previous 3 of 4, rather. So Barnsley are 4 or 5 points still off safety in 23rd. They're playing Cardiff. This is another Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff. Cardiff 11.51 points. Their playoff charges also seem to halt. Corley Woodrow rather for Barnsley for the Tykes isn't looking too bad. I think he might grab one, and I'm going to go 2-1 Barnsley because unfortunately Cardiff aren't the best travellers, I wouldn't have said. So the next one, this is relegation 6 pointer. It's Wigan versus Luton. Wigan 19th. Paul Cook, my God, he needs to win Manager of the Month. He's got them out of the drop. They're now on 40 points in 19th. Luton, rock bottom, remain. Graham Jones's men remain rock bottom on 34 points. I'm going to go 2-0 Wigan for this. I just can't see Luton picking anything up away from home. Possibly another Jamal Lowe goal. Or even a Sam Morsey, yeah. He's a hero in Wigan over this past week after his heroics away at the Hawthorns. So I'm going to go 2-0 Wigan, and let's get into the next one. So the next one is Swansea versus the Baggies West Brom. Obviously Baggies top of the league, 69 points after their slip at home to Wigan. Swansea 9th on 52 points. I'm unfortunately going to have to go for a West Brom win. I think West Brom did annihilate Swansea at the Hawthorns about 5-0 earlier on in the season. So I can't see any other way about it. I'm going to go 2-1 West Brom. Charlie Austin maybe might get the goal for West Brom, but that's what I'm going to go for. So the next one, my team, Leeds United. I don't know how many times I've mentioned that in this video. Write in the comments if you would like. Leeds versus Huddersfield. Huddersfield, the bloody dog fiddlers. Nothing else mentioned about them really. We must win would take us on to 71 points, and then praying that Swansea pull up trees in South Wales against West Brom, obviously. So I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds. I don't want to ramble on because this video's getting quite long now. Wednesday got the Cowleys, Carl and Grant, all that kind of brigade. But obviously when we did play them at the John Smiths earlier on in the season, we did beat them 2-0, and I think Carl and Grant should have scored, but I don't know. Tyler Roberts may come in for Patrick Bamford as well. But I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds. I'm going to it. There's going to be a vlog for that. Nothing else is acceptable. We've got to be beating the Dog Fiddlers at home. We have got to. Rocking Elland Road. We've got to. So this is the final game, and then I will conclude. Derby County, this is on Sunday. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. I don't think it's on Sky though, guys. It's Derby County, the Rams, versus Blackburn Rovers, Pride of Lancashire. I don't think so. Derby, obviously, Wayne Rooney, they're playing tonight against Manchester United in the FA Cup 5th round. I think the winner plays Norwich away. So there's some incentive. Rooney's probably going to score a hat-trick against his former club that everyone hates. So I need to I've rambled on this video. I really apologise. I hope you've enjoyed it. Derby 13, 48 points. Blackburn 8th on 53 points. I'm going to go 3-1 Derby for this one. I think Tom Lawrence scored when in Derby's last game. I think 3-0 away at Sheffield Wednesday, was it? Something like that. Blackburn run some decent form. Obviously, Mowbray's men. Playoff candidates, they've got to be. I think they're only 3 points outside the playoffs as well. But the games you saw, I think they were leading in a couple, and then they ended up losing. I think one of them was the lunchtime kickoff 2 weeks ago. And away at Brentford, and they were winning like 2-1 or something. I think 2 Adam Armstrong goals, and then that finished 2-2. So if they turned these draws into wins, they would certainly be in the playoffs, and they would look a force to be reckoned with. I'm not going to say they're not, but Derby at home, I think they will just breeze them aside, unfortunately. Philip Cocu's men, I'm going to go 3-1 to the Rams. So thank you guys for watching. The support on the channel as of late honestly means a lot. Please don't forget to keep on subscribing, liking the videos. If we could hit 220 subscribers as soon as possible, that would be greatly appreciated. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Leeds.